la fronda di ciliegio e mi inonda di fior. Io butto fuori la pioggia d'orosa, lanza franziana.
Welcome to the San Diego Opera video podcast. I'm welcoming today our wonderful Cio-Cio San, Madama Butterfly, Latonia Moore. Latonia, welcome back.
Thank you.
I am so excited to see you here.
Oh, me too.
Last time was Aida in that beautiful Zandra Rhodes production, and now here you are doing Butterfly.
Yes.
It's so super.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what's happened in the interim. It's about 2 years ago, I think. Or
3 years.
Three years
actually.
ago.
3 years
that you
have
were
passed by. Well, I did a bunch more Aidas after that, of course. And then the very next year, I ended up getting married.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and had a baby.
Oh my gosh.
14-month-old Naomi.
Wow.
So a lot has happened, and other than that, been singing a lot of places. And as it turned out, just 3 weeks ago, had to step in at the Met again, just like the last time I was here right before.
That's right. Of course, the last time it was
Butterfly.
stepping in for Aida, and then you did Aida.
Here.
And this time it was stepping in for Butterfly and doing Butterfly.
Yeah.
And so I've got to say to our audience, you're coming off of a stunning review in the New York Times, I might add, which was just really exciting, and it kind of helped us with marketing.
For sure, yeah.
Getting the word out there that we've got somebody really to look forward to. But those of us who saw you and heard you in Aida knew that. But have you added any new roles?
Not really. Not too many new things. I mean, over the past couple of years, I've done more Aidas, like I said, Verdi Requiem. I did a recording of Macbeth.
Oh, cool.
And I have a Macbeth coming up. I can't really say where, but it's coming.
Oh, great.
You know, things like that. I mean, but pretty much so far, it's the same stuff. You know?
I did notice, because I wasn't aware that you sang Tosca, but I saw that you opened the
Actually,
new New
yes.
York City Opera.
I
with
forgot. That
Tosca.
was new for me. I'd never done it before. So
That was new.
I learned it in a few weeks and just threw it up there.
How'd it feel?
Like my first.
Yeah.
Like it was the first time. I mean, Tosca's my favorite opera.
It's a great piece,
So
yeah.
for me, it was just, I was so intimidated by the Toscas of years past and just hoping I could do it justice. And did I feel super ready? No. But to get to do my first one there, and for the new New York City Opera, which by the time we opened, it was actually New York City Opera.
Right.
I mean, it was just this huge honor.
Yeah.
So, and, I was terrified and excited at the same time, but...
Act 2.
Yes. Oh, the bread and butter. And, but the thing about Tosca, too, because you think in Act 2 it was so much challenging singing, but it's just so much, there's a lot of acting, and there's a lot of you having to listen to everything else that's happening on stage,
Right.
more than just being involved in yourself.
It really is one conversation after another, that entire opera.
Yeah.
That's
for
what I
sure.
noticed when we just did it,
Mhm.
because we just closed it. I had never really thought about that, and the stage director pointed it out to us, that it really goes from one conversation to another, and the other thing is, it never stops, does it?
No, it doesn't, but that's Puccini.
Yeah.
Really, every one of his operas I feel like are very conversational, almost recitative through a lot of the opera.
mhm.
And then you get your show-stopping arias and everything, but most of it is really spoken dialogue almost, you know what I mean? And it's just, that's what I find so fantastic about it, the realism, the verismo of it, Really just stunning. So I loved doing it.
What have you learned about Butterfly over the last couple of years? Because I know you've done it a lot, but compare the first year of doing Butterflies to now. How do you see her differently?
Well, one thing that's different is I'm so much more excited about her wedding day.
Oh.
I mean, maybe the most challenging part vocally to sing in Madama Butterfly is the entrance.
Yeah.
The first act.
Yeah.
But when you see it as like this young 15-year-old girl and this is her wedding day, and after she's seen so many people get married in this fashion, finally she's the one in the spotlight.
Right.
She's the one that's getting married. She's the one being whisked away. I mean, it just adds this completely different level of joy to it.
It is rapturous.
Yeah.
Isn't it? She's just thrilled. Yeah, I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because musically, that is exactly what Puccini communicates.
Yeah.
And I can see how just learning the role or just getting your feet wet and your body into it, that it might be all about oh God, I hope I get this this next phrase.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope I get that last note. Oh, I hope I'm, communicating all the right things. But
Totally.
but it sounds like you've been able to relax in the role a little bit.
Much more than I was at the very first one. I mean, the first
Yeah.
time I definitely was just like, oh, I hope I get all the words right. And I hope I get this right. Luckily, my Pinkerton was like the sweetest little thing ever. Brian Email actually was my first Pinkerton. And he was just so wonderful, so easy and comfortable that it definitely gave me more ease than I thought I'd have.
Yeah.
By the time we got to opening night. But, I mean, over the years, I've seen so many different butterflies, done a lot of different butterflies. And as the progression of the opera goes on, when you look at somebody like this in the second act, second act she comes out and she's been waiting 3 whole years without hearing a word. Now, if it was me, I would have been out. I would have married Yamadori, for sure. He's hot, he's got all the cash, he wants me, why not, But in her case, this blind faith, and just this belief that no matter what, she's going to be faithful, she's going to wait for him. It's just so stunning. It's so stunning. And it's one of those things where you feel like that's enough to drive anybody crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when she gets to the end and it's that tragic ending, it's so believable.
Yeah. I think the tragedy is that in those 3 years, she grows up, she becomes a woman, but she hasn't let go of that childhood dream, that childhood fantasy of love blossoming at first sight, and that wedding just being the culmination of her life and living happily ever after, and it just doesn't work. Oof.
Yeah. Tragic.
Just one more thing, as a young American artist, what we went through the year after you were here. It was a real close call.
Yes.
What New York City went through actually went under and has resurrected itself.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about American opera today? Where do you see it going? Do you see signs of life?
I do. Especially, I love now that lots of operas are being recorded on DVD. I love that it's being broadcast in the movies. I think, this is a controversial thing to say maybe, updating productions I've never been a huge fan of, but it appeals to, the man of today. You know what I mean? You have the layman, they're coming to the opera, they don't know anything about it. And so I kind of like updating sometimes because, it becomes more relatable.
Right.
And here in America, I feel like they're trying their best, like, even in TV shows. Like with my daughter, I'm watching different shows, this show Peg and Cat or Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, with lots of music and many references to opera.
Oh.
Many. Not that we didn't have it growing up. Come on, I watched like Bugs Bunny and everything,
right.
and with the horns and everything, and
Right.
Brunhilde, but I love that that's still out there too. But because it's an art form that, it would be such a shame if it died out, especially here, because I feel like there's just, as the years go by with media being like it is and people being so into pop music, we're lacking culture a bit, And so I think that in the effort, putting it in movies, putting it in TV and social media and really getting it out there to people, it's enough to keep it going. There's still enough of a light in there to keep it going. Now, whether or not we'll have the huge audiences of the past, I can't say.
Well, that's an interesting observation, but also that more smaller companies are popping up and doing unusual repertoire, which is stretching the definition of opera, which I think is exciting. For myself, I think that is really, really interesting. That the Aidas and the Butterflies and the Toscas are great, and hopefully we never lose those. But what's fascinating is that all of a sudden, new operas popping up here and there, and is just as vital and engaging.
Oh yeah,
as grand
absolutely.
opera.
Yeah, and maybe more relatable to the audience of today when you get these new operas and more modern things. They're more relatable stories. And the other good thing about these companies popping up is the use of American singers.
Yeah.
Which I think, a lot of American singers are underused. A lot of us feel like we have to go to Europe to have a career at all just because that's where opera is hot. You know, you go to Germany, it's opera mecca.
Yeah.
Opera everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not so much that way here. But I feel like, and especially when you look at like the kids in schools who are doing classical music, still all state choirs and stuff like that, and they're on their way in that opera direction, it just gives them that extra oomph, that extra kick to see Americans
Absolutely.
up there doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a foreign art form. It's not just this upper echelon thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, it is relatable, and it's something that somebody so young can get into. From the youngest to the oldest audience member, you can relate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, out of our 4 principals in Butterfly, we've got 3 young Americans, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and Theodore, although not American, is so youthful.
Oh, he's a
you know,
doll.
I
He's
finally
wonderful.
got to, you know,
Yeah.
work with him yesterday. He just got here from Bucharest, and he's so youthful and just so bright and fits right in with the rest of it, you ask me. And maybe he's not American, but he's got the American feel to him,
no, it's going to be fun. Well, thank you so much for visiting with us, and best of luck.
Thank you. I'm
in
so
the future,
excited.
But we're looking forward to seeing you open in our Butterfly.
Me too. It's my favorite role, so I can't wait to give it to you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.